Dwight Howard was born in Atlanta when Dwight Sr. and Cheryl Howard welcomed a bouncing baby boy on December 8, 1985. His dad was a Georgia State Trooper and his mom was an athletic director. His mom had 7 miscarriages before he was born. Born into a Christian family, Howard started playing basketball at the age of 9. In high school, Howard played at the iconic Southwest Atlanta Christian Academy, averaging 25 points, 17 rebounds, 8.1 blocks, and 3.5 assists. Following his idol Kevin Garnett's footsteps, Dwight declared for the 2004 draft, foregoing college, where he was the first overall pick. He also took the number 12 jersey, which is inverse to Garnett's 21. After 8 stellar years in Orlando, he is the Magic's all-time leader in points and blocks. This guy lifted his team to the NBA Finals at just 24 years old. Howard became the youngest player to lead the league in blocks and rebounds in the same season in 2 consecutive years. He won back-to-back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year awards. Dwight is a champion, scored an overall 19,000 career points, and was the most dominant big man in the game for a legitimate 6 or 7 year stretch. He's an 8-time All-Star, 8-time All-NBA, and 5-time All-Defensive selection, with hopefully a little more left in the tank. Talk about domination. In case you didn't know, Dwight is a prankster, and a few years ago he pulled some pranks on a few of his All-Star teammates. At 2:30 in the morning, he went around pranking some rookies like Derrick Rose by knocking loudly on his door and making a run for it. And how can we ever forget the famous dance-off featuring Dwight, LeBron, and Shaq during the All-Star Weekend 15 years ago? I think you have an idea of the type of guy Dwight is off the court. Now we know a little about Howard's b-ball career, let's get into how he makes his loot. Contracts. After 8 great seasons on the Orlando Magic, Dwight slowly but surely began bouncing around the league to teams like the LA Lakers for several stints and the Houston Rockets, to Charlotte, Washington, Atlanta, even a stop in Philly. At only 19 years old, Orlando gave Dwight a 3-year, $13.5 million deal as his first NBA contract, which was the standard contract for the top pick in the NBA draft at the time. Orlando was sold on Dwight and rewarded him with a 5-year, $83 million rookie-scale max extension that would, in the end, take him to the end of his Magic career. Dwight made massive strides in his game in each of his first 3 seasons. And he proved sturdy and durable too by playing in all 82 games. But even after several more All-Star appearances, 3 consecutive Defensive Player of the Year awards, and a trip to the NBA Finals against Kobe and company, turmoil in Orlando led to Dwight wanting out. So he got his wish and joined Kobe in LA, where he would play the last season of his 5-year rookie extension. In 2013, Howard signed a 4-year, $87.5 million contract with the Rockets, which started the entire bouncing from team to team ordeal for Dwight. He signed with the Atlanta Hawks on a 4-year, $70 million deal. And then he was traded the following year to the Hornets. And then traded again the year after before reaching a buyout with the Brooklyn Nets that resulted in him losing $5 million in salary. And then he signed a deal with the Wizards that would pay him $11 million for 2 years. But he was traded again to the Grizzlies and again reached yet another buyout before signing as a free agent with the Lakers. Again. But on a better note, Dwight had a resurgence with the Lakers in the 2019-20 season. He was a key contributor for the Purple and Gold, coming off the bench and provided excellent defense and leadership that ultimately helped lead the Lakers show to an NBA championship. And at last, Dwight was an NBA champion in his 16th season in the league. And even more fitting, he won his first ever title in the Orlando bubble. Orlando, where it all started. Endorsements. Entering the pros straight out of high school would inevitably put Dwight under a bright spotlight and the opportunity to become the face of Adidas basketball. For a long while, it worked out great for Dwight, being the lead ambassador for releases like the Supernatural Commanders, A3SS Power, and Bounce Commanders, among a few more. The shoe was marketed as a high-tech sneaker designed for maximum lift and explosion. Of course, that was the motto of Dwight's high-flying game. But after Dwight started going from team to team, Adidas dropped their deal with Dwight in 2015, which led him to partner with Peak. Howard signed a multi-year deal with the Chinese brand Peak Sport in 2015, and although it's now expired, it was worth a whopping $31.5 million. Wow! They have come out with the DH4 lines of shoes, and the brand keeps growing as they try to keep signing NBA players. He's also been the face of McDonald's and works with Arrowhead Spring Water. Howard is cashing in big time, baby. Let's see how he spends it. House. He owns a humongous 35,000 square foot mansion in Atlanta that sits on 15 acres of real estate. This mansion features 5 kitchens, 3 laundry rooms, and a massive 14-car garage. In this mansion, he has a collection of exotic snakes. It also has a separate pool house, 5 kitchens, 20 HVAC units, 3 laundry rooms, saltwater pool with outdoor fireplace, attic with custom cabinetry, elevator, service access driveway with an underground tunnel that connects the detached garages to the main house. This beauty is truly a mind-blowing estate. Howard also owns a 10,000 square foot property in Seminole County. This mansion features 5 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, a game room, a home theater, and a wine cellar complete with a bar. He joined professional golfer Chris DeMarco to own a property in this area. After dropping a whopping $8.8 million for this mansion, he sold it for $4.9 million. Bouncing around the NBA means having real estate in a range of areas. But for Dwight, the most unique of them all just might be the largest penthouse ever in Washington, D.C. At nearly 10,000 square feet, this home has 5 bedrooms and 4.5 bathrooms and strikes the perfect blend of retro and modern. It actually used to be a school and was remodeled into a high-end apartment. The revolving door, the vanities, the bar room, a massive kitchen with commercial-grade appliances, and several rooms with 40-foot tall ceilings. I don't know about you, but that sounds like a never-ending stay for me at least. Dwight did sell this for $2 million. Cars. Back in 2019, Dwight Howard added to his already fabulous car collection. But I can assure you, guarantee you, that you won't be able to guess which car he pulled the trigger on. Dwight bought an all-purple, Avengers-inspired, actually Thanos-inspired Rolls Royce. This baby is worth a staggering $340,000. He also owns a Ferrari FF. This white beauty churns out a respectable 651 horsepower, and this baby is worth a cool $300,000. He also owns a Rolls Royce Ghost, Conquest Knight XV armored truck, Dodge Challenger SRT, Bentley Mulsanne, and Porsche Panamera. Talk about keeping it sleek. Best hair moments. For quite some time, Dwight played the same dominant game on the court and rocked the same exact hairstyle for more than a decade in the NBA. But then things changed. More so, Dwight's style changed as he transitioned into the later half of his career. For some time in Houston, Dwight started suiting the tapered afro. And then he went back to his recognizable buzzed hair, before he began suiting a bigger hairstyle with a burst fade when he went to the Wizards. And then things from there got, well, let's just say unique and outside the box. Dwight's second stint with the Lakers began Dwight's mission of outdoing even Hollywood's most ridiculous-looking hairstyles. His bleached dreads, purple dreads, and then blue dreads, highlighted cornrows, and most recently his dreads with a ponytail. All styles outside the box and way beyond anything many of us would likely try. But Dwight pulled it off, man. What can I say? Love life. Howard hasn't only kept himself busy on the court, but also off the court with numerous women. Dwight has made his personal life quite a topic after being in relationships with 5 different women that each has a child with him, but he's never taken any of them to the altar. Having numerous relationships without a doubt has made Howard find himself in many responsibilities and complications, such as his alleged abuse towards his kids. Dwight admitted that he disciplined his kids by spanking them with a belt, which he didn't know was wrong. Luckily, charges were later dropped. Howard does post pics with his kids and seems to be active in their lives. Dwight last dated Tia Cooper. She's a WNBA player and has played with the LA Sparks. They secretly got married in 2020, but unfortunately it only lasted a year and the two have separated. Cooper was last known to be dating running back Alvin Kamara. Net worth. Now is the time you've all been waiting for. How much is D12 worth? With everything going on in his life, Dwight Howard has a net worth of close to $140 million. That's one hell of a career, wouldn't you say?